Hey, it's the Flash After Show on AFTERBUZZ TV. Tonight we're breaking down Season 3, Episode 11, called Dead or Alive. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Wanted, dead or alive.
Yeah!
Wanted. We had great harmonies there. Dead or alive.
All right, y'all, it's a Flash After Show.
Dead
We're
or
just
alive.
preparing for the musical crossover, if you don't mind. We're just going to do a couple more vocal warm-ups. Welcome! How's everybody doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. I have a confession to make.
What's your confession?
I think this might have been my favorite episode of the season so far.
Jeff had a favorite episode? Oh
I'm
my.
making the call right now.
What Earth
Episode
are we
11.
in? Oh my gosh.
This is Earth 1.
Oh.
Have you been replaced? Are you a doppelganger?
No, stop it. What? What's your name? Wait, they name-checked Earth 19 tonight. Was that a joke, or is our Earth, have we labeled 19?
No. Earth 19 is Wells' Earth. Yeah, HR's Earth.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
There are just so
So
many
many
Earths.
Earths. There's
I
a lot.
know. It's
There's
true.
an infinite number of Earths
Oh,
out
thank
there.
you for specifying that,
You're
Tiana.
welcome. I'm so smart.
Oh my god, while we're name-calling, let's kick us off with the intros, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tiona Hobson, and you can find me online at the Tiona Hobson.
And I'm Tauri J. Miller. You can find me at Tauri J. That's TauriJay.
Thank you, Tari. And Yell is out on assignment this week. She'll be back next week. I'm Jeffrey Masters. I tweet from Jeff Masters 1. You guys looked surprised when I said this was one of my... No, I didn't say one of. I said my favorite of the
Jeff,
season.
you are a
Yeah.
very hard man to please. And for
Who
you
do
to
you
say
talk to?
everyone. And for you to say that is just, I'm very happy for you in this moment that you found something positive from this show and this experience
Thank
and
you.
everything that
Well-
you really love.
Well, you know, some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this, and
Yeah.
I have found it.
You have.
Well, what is it about this episode that really shined to you?
I liked so it was so much of the team aspect of it. Everyone's working together. Julian adds some awesome fresh energy. He calls it like it is. I appreciate that. We get to see Iris doing her job, kicking butt at her job, taking risks. I love seeing the team up with her and Wally, a little bro sis action time, with some emotional moments with Barry and Iris as well. And on top of that, I was really, really, really into the gypsy. It was just
I
like
loved
a
Gypsy.
I loved her. She was gorgeous. I want to see her
yeah.
again. And also was not our typical quote unquote villain. She was a good guy that we were able to have like normal conversations with. And I just really appreciate that.
Yeah.
What did you feel, Tari?
I really liked it. Like, there were a lot of heavy concepts and, like, things that I didn't think that they would bring into the Flashverse, especially with the Iris stuff. I thought that was really intriguing. And I agree, Gypsy, so pretty, so cool. I wanted her to join the team, which we all know she doesn't, but maybe she'll come back because I want her around forever, and I want Cisco to make out with her for a year.
I completely agree. I think of all the guest stars in recent memory, it's been 3 seasons, so who knows what's happened? I forget. Tiana's watched it most recently. And out of all the guest stars, she is my vote to bring her back as like a fan favorite. What do you think, Tiana?
I agree. I'm going to say that Gypsy, I loved her. I loved her and Siska. I've shipped them as Sipsy because they sound like a bunch of booze hounds, and I love it.
Not Jisco.
Yeah. Wait.
Wait a second.
What's wrong?
Jisco?
Yeah.
Jisco? That just sounds
No,
so...
Gypsco.
Gyp.
You're missing the Gypsco.
Gypsco.
Yeah, Gypsco.
Yeah,
Not-
that's what
not
I said.
Jizco.
I mean, I heard Jisco, so
Fran-
I don't know.
Fran Jepsko?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I love them together. I think it's time that we give Cisco someone to have in his heart and soul because he doesn't always get, the girl. And I want her to come back to finish that kiss. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a great exit and all, but like she left the man with blue balls basically. So
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, it was pretty hot.
Blue lips.
You know,
Blue lips.
You called me. How dare you? You called me hard to please earlier, and you're right. The previous love interest, not even a love interest, but like love connection that Cisco had was with the Golden Glider, right? And to me, that felt so sterile. Felt so unbelievable, and for this, this makes sense to me.
It does. I mean, they have clearly they have a lot in common.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, he's doing the right thing by sticking up for HR, and she's acknowledging that and doing the right thing by not killing HR, and she's going against the grain of what she's been programmed to do because the right guy has stopped her finally. So.
I completely agree.
The things we do for love.
It's true.
I know, Tari.
Yeah, I like that they resonate well.
Thank you.
But,
Word of the day calendar.
Yeah. But I really liked how they played off of one another. Especially when Cisco was kind of backhandedly asking her out. That part really rang true to both of those characters, where she's being playful with him, but still kind of maintaining her agency, and like she has a duty and she's going through with it, but like she also acknowledges that she's attracted to this guy, which is really well done.
It
I
is.
agree.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to say one thing because I forgot to say this earlier.
thank you.
Guys, Yale's not here, but I have the chat up in my phone, and we also have it up on the screen. So let us know what you guys thought, and I will do my best to fill in Yale's shoes.
Absolutely, thank you. And if you are not able to watch live with us, we would love for your comments on YouTube, your comments on iTunes, you can subscribe there, and also tweeting with us throughout the week. Before we get back into the episode, I just want to say that this show tonight is sponsored by Riverdale, the new CW show. I loved it. Have you guys seen it?
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing.
So good. I also grew up on Archie, so that was my jam. So like I'm a big Jughead guy, and they've got his crown worked in really amazingly, but this is not like the typical Archie just like retelling the story. There have been, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but there's been a lot of retellings, some successful and some not. I've seen them all. This is the most successful so far. It's edgy. Mm-hmm. They took a lot of liberties and it works, and it's so fun to see these characters. And that's Thursdays on the CW. I'm just a big fan. It's also shot beautifully. It's cinematic looking. What do you think, Tiona?
I loved it. I also grew up on Archie comics back in the day because I'm ancient, and I thought that this is a great story. And at first I was kind of like, oh, it's another high school drama, but it's so much more than just that. It's edgy, it's dark, it's compelling, it's got adult content involved in it, and there's already so many mysteries surrounding it that I'm like, oh, I can't wait for the next episode. I need answers right away.
I agree. There's a murder mystery that's not giving away anything, and it's just so much fun. So that airs on Thursdays at 9 o'clock on the CW, 8 Central, and that's called Riverdale. Check it out.
Yes. Make sure you watch it. And it's also in the CW family, so you have to watch it.
Yeah.
These are the rules, okay?
The rules of the CW are you watch everything we put on the network.
Kicking off Dead or Alive, tonight's episode, I loved seeing Barry and Wally together. We've seen them before, but this is the first time there's not been baggage behind it. And just seeing them like work off each other and banter, that's, I think, where the show's gonna give us more of. Obviously, that's where they're heading, and I like it. I like it a lot. I also just love seeing Wally, who enjoys his powers so much. That is what is missing from other shows for me. And not in the DC family, but like other movies, other superhero, anything.
You know what? It's been missing from this show because that was what was so exciting about the first season of this show, is that Barry just got his powers. So he was really excited, and he had this youthful innocence, and he was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool what I'm doing. So now we have Wally who's reliving that, and so it's bringing a little bit of like youthfulness back into the show, because Barry has grown up and matured. I mean, he's got a living girlfriend now, y'all.
Oh my god, he's a grandpa.
I mean, he's like real serious and everything now, and he's not that rambunctious young man anymore.
You're right, and other people are getting powers, but it's nothing like this. As we see Caitlin, she's got that necklace now. She's afraid of her powers.
You mean her Elsa necklace?
Yes.
that shines all the time.
Oh my god, you're exactly
But
right.
the
Since
battery
we're talking
powers.
about that, just a small side note that like I wonder if there is a VR or not, a VFX person specifically dedicated to making it glow as bright as it does for each scene that she's in. It makes me happy to know that that's someone's job. But back to Wally and Barry. I agree. This is the speedster team up we've really been waiting for. Like, I know last season we were always talking about, man, can't wait till Wally comes in, can't wait till he becomes a speedster. And now, like, we get to have that and them really having each other's back, which is super fun. I agree with you guys that it is baggage free, which is something we've been missing for at least a season because, everyone's dealing with the weight of their power. Even they talk about a little bit with Cisco earlier, how, like, he's afraid of the extent of his power. And that's the same thing with Barry, but Wally doesn't have to worry about that because he knows he has everyone to back him up, so he can just be free and have fun.
I agree. Less responsibility.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what happens when you're the youngest, Like, everyone else is worried for you, and you just have the ability to just, I don't care about anything. I can do whatever I want.
Take my top off. Woo.
Wait, who's getting naked?
Everybody.
Oh, okay.
Half naked, all right? Calm
Okay.
down.
I think this was like exemplified too with the cheerleaders. It was such a fun moment. And Grandpa Flash says, "Kid Flash, go take your picture. It's fine. Like, you got this." And he's like, "Okay, cool." And that's my Kid Flash impression. Is it good? Is bad? He didn't need to get in that picture. He's jaded, and that excitement from Wally, I just love so much.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. On the opposite of excitement, we have Julian.
You know what, though? Julian on this team is growing on me.
I completely agree.
He's the Debbie Downer, but we also need that person around. And I didn't need it to be Cisco anymore. He's moving in so Cisco can go back to being happy Cisco, which is who everyone knows I've been missing all season.
Me too. Oh, yeah, you missed last episode. I didn't rant about that. Exactly. He was the heart of the show, and it's gone. We're seeing that side of Cisco come back, though. Mm-hmm. But Julian is like, I get off watching him.
Yeah?
I get off like I did when I used to watch Daria. Julian is the Daria that I've been missing in my sex life. I mean, life. Daria... And I love seeing him. He's a realist, and this team needed that. Mm-hmm. Everyone loves each other, but they're a little bit careful with their feelings, as Julian's showing.
Right. Yeah, and I like that, like, I think a couple weeks ago I was like, this team always needs a jerk. And I like that he's a different kind of jerk. Like, Harry was a jerk because he just didn't care about anything. But Julian's more that, it's more that he's, like, a little socially inept, which is adorable. And he isn't as, like, rainbow and sunshine as everyone else is. Like, the whole Team Flash has always been like, you can do this, you can always do this. And it's nice that he's there to be like, nah, man, there's a chance that you're gonna die. It just brings another dynamic, which I think is really fun.
He's almost the voice of the audience. And by audience, I might mean me. Where I'm like, what are they doing? Or I'm like, Flash, don't do that. And I've got Julian there to stick up for me.
Yeah, no, Julian is definitely that person. He's kind of, going along those lines. He's like the Sheldon of the group because it's like word vomit. He just says it and he doesn't mean to offend you or to tell you that that you're going to die or anything. He just says what he's thinking. Yeah. He doesn't really think before he speaks. Yeah. And we need someone to actually be honest with the team because everyone, like you said, is at the point of like, yeah, hoorah, we can do anything because we've defeated all these people. And he's there to be like, hey guys, at some point, someone's going to die. Like, this team's not going to stay together forever. You guys aren't always going to be best friends. At some point, people will get hurt. You might lose a couple rounds.
I agree.
Yeah, and he needs to be there. Because if Jeff Masters can't be there to tell them this, then you need Julian.
I keep sending letters. No one gets back to me.
Well, I know why.
And I'm really hard on the show because I love it. And I want it to be great. And it is often so great. It's just like when the little mistakes come, it's like so glaring to me.
And Ivan Soto, thank you for getting my Sheldon reference.
Aww.
Because I felt like it was lost on the rest of my panel because they didn't react how I wanted it to be.
I don't watch Big Bang Theory.
Sheldon? You mean Sheldon from Big Bang Theory?
Thank you.
You are equating Julian and Sheldon together as one character. It's like they are the same person, but on different shows, maybe on another Earth.
Oh my god, I'm so smart, right?
You know who wears Flash shirts? Sheldon does.
So see, maybe they are connected.
Everything he said I agree with.
I need you.
She'll be back. Oh my god.
I thought being in the Tiona sandwich tonight was going to be like in my favor and you guys were going to be super nice to me, but so far not so much.
I just did a whole thing. I did a whole bit.
I know. I love you, baby. Don't worry.
Oh, what do y'all think of our Lego recreation of the like solos?
I think I'm really into Legos right now, especially with the Batman movie coming out. So I loved it. I was like, yes, Legos. Also, yes, whoever put that thing together, who had to sit there and glue all those parts together to make this prop there for them. Like, that's amazing.
I have no facts to back this up, but I decided since it's freezing Canada and it's winter, it was some prop person just like made it like inside one day in the warmth because she wanted to stay inside. And they're like, this is amazing. I need to use this.
I wonder if they had to get a master builder to come.
Well, I doubt it because they called it toys. I think if they were on board, they would have been able to name check it with Legos, but no.
It's trademarked, so.
Yeah, I kind of like want to see them like use the Lego set.
I wonder if they, I know, they should do that for all of their problems. Because I just think that it would make life's problems. You can solve everything. They solved the mystery of, he needs to get there in 0.2 seconds just by having a Lego diorama there. So maybe they should use the Legos more often to help them out.
It's inspirational.
It's inspirational because you can really see the 3D aspect of everything. I don't know why they didn't use a computer like diagram to, they are Star Labs. They chose Legos for a reason.
Yeah.
Maybe they just grew up with them. Nostalgia. No, this is another reason why I was so fond of this episode because Iris's death was not the main point. I always call him Sauron.
Savitar.
Savitar, not Sauron. Savitar is this overarching thing of the season, villain.
Yeah.
But we did not directly fight him or do anything to combat like any of his minions this episode, and yet he was still very present via the Lego set, via Iris and stuff. And so it was just like very successful weaving in without making it the focus.
Yeah. And I'm glad that they did that because I was saying this, and I know I missed here last week, but I went on Flash and Friends the other day, and I was talking about how for Savitar, I just, sometimes when he's not in the episode, I forget that he's the villain of this season right now, and it's hard to remember someone who's never there. Everyone else, they could pop up at any moment. And so there's always that fear of like, oh my gosh, is he going to appear here? Is he going to appear here? And so I'm glad that they mentioned him a lot because it just keeps that reminder in your head of like, hey, this is still the big threat. Right now we're dealing with like the little threat, but like, don't forget about this guy up here.
I think it's easier this season to not make this like a loose end that they sometimes refer to because the implications are not the world will end, but it's very specific that Iris will die.
Yeah, that's what I was
on
gonna
May
say.
23rd, 2017.
Yes, exactly. Mark your
that's
calendars if you're watching.
That's a real date, like in the calendar.
I know, it's
like
so specific. But like,
Wait.
it's not just like the world ending. What?
May, sorry. I was like, ooh, Ides of March, but it's May. So, ha. But yeah, I agree. Like, the thing about Savitar that I feel like is kind of an improvement on Zoom is that even though his presence isn't there, like, his actions are looming. And so, like, you can really, like, feel because it's so personal. Like, last year, it was like, he's destroying Earth too. And you're like, cool. But now it's like, he's going to do something that will hurt everyone that we know and love.
Yeah, there's no emotional connection to Earth 2. And no offense if you're watching from Earth 2. But there is emotional connection for Iris.
Sorry, you said if you're watching from Earth 2, and I was like, oh.
We beamed this thing across the whole multiverse.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
No worries. What are your thoughts on the Gypsy? I'm a big fan, as we know.
I'm a big fan, too. Can we talk about their fight real quick? Sorry, I don't want to jump ahead.
Anything you want, Tiona.
The foreplay that her and Cisco were having.
Yes.
That whole thing. So they bounce around to, they went to 3 different places, right? They said one was Earth 19. One was Earth.
Well, no. So they went to Earth 2.
Earth 2.
Then they went to Earth S, technically.
Yeah, it's Supergirls.
Earth, yeah.
Where was the third
138.
place that they went with that volcano and everything?
I don't know. It was just a volcano.
Tauri doesn't know.
It's
See,
true.
I felt like because they name checked or gave us a visual reference to the other 2 places, it's like this third place, they didn't say anything about it, and we left there so quick. So why? They don't do anything without a reason here.
Yeah.
If you're going to bounce to different places, why not name check this place?
You mean we've name checked 2 out of 3? Why not the third?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I don't think that they left. I think it's just something that we should be conscious about and
Really?
aware, and just keep it in the back of your head. Just saying, it might come full circle.
Okay, this sounds like a prediction.
I mean, I don't know what I'm predicting, but I just think that it's important information that they conveniently left out.
In the words of Rachel Maddow, watch this space.
Oh, the chat is saying that, Earth S is Earth 38.
Yes.
Emma Frost 45 says it's Earth Volcano for the third one.
Okay.
I like that too. They're saying there's only a
Earth V.
Romeo Lopez. It's that place where Anakin was fighting Obi-Wan.
Yes.
Mustafar.
Yeah, so we've got some good predictions going on. I'm just saying, guys, we knew exactly where we were in the other two places.
Well, they were,
Why
like-
not let us know exactly where we are here?
Okay, yeah, but we also didn't know that little girl on Supergirl's Earth, right? She's not a Supergirl actress, right?
She's been around.
I think she's the new assistant, like the one who took over for Kara, or I guess technically took over for Silver Banshee, but yeah,
Fascinating.
right.
But
But
yeah, that fight scene was incredible, though.
it was
It
good.
was. Like the vibe for vibe, and they were like whoosh, whoosh, and when their powers connected in that like Harry Potter standoff type of thing.
Yes.
Like the wands, but it was their hands.
Yeah.
I always think it's valuable too for a person who's growing their powers to see someone more advanced to say, "Oh, I can do that."
Yeah.
And it pushes them further.
Yeah.
Again, exciting to watch.
And I love that she called Cisco out and was like, "Hey, you're a lot stronger than you appear, and you're fearful, and you're not giving it your all right now." So now I'm like, "Whoa, Cisco, give me your all, baby. Like, let's turn the volume up and see what we can really do. Maybe we should have him out there with Flash and Kid Flash fighting crime. We can make a team here, guys. Like, we can really get everyone out there. Julian is in the office now, so we really don't need Cisco there all the time. He can be out in the field."
So, in going off that, why do we think Barry Allen, the Flash, was in the office, like listening to the intercom when he's fighting Cisco?
Well, he had mentioned that because he can't interfere.
You wouldn't even want to be there to watch in person, though. To like whisk his like bleeding body off to the hospital.
I mean, he could be there in less than a second. So
Touche.
Yeah,
Touche.
I think if anything, from a character standpoint, he wanted Cisco to know that he could do it himself, and he wasn't going to be waiting in the wings to swoop in and save him at the last minute. It's one of those things where, especially if you're like a parent, you want to let your kids fall and you want to let them do whatever they're going to do, and sometimes you have to like take a step back or like not be there even if you're still monitoring.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he had to enter the cave himself.
Right. So two things. One, I loved that she dropped a Spinal Tap reference. That was nice. And two, you had mentioned everyone being a team. I just wanted to kind of go over for those who aren't aware, who aren't comic fans, that like Gypsy and Vibe in the comics are on a team together. So that's cool.
Do they make babies together too?
I don't believe that they make babies.
Aw. Their babies would be so cute.
They would be, especially this version of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
And they'd be like vibing
So
everywhere.
good.
It's like, oh, baby's crying, just vibe it away. No.
And then the main difference between her powers in the comics and here is that she's more of an illusionist. Like, she can make illusions and she can hide herself and things of that sort. Whereas this version, which I kind of like a little bit better, is she is... well, I guess I just like it different. She is a reflection of Vibe, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah.
I also like that she could stop speedsters.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I like that because, you know, having the ability to do that hurts our main character. But it's also cool to know that there is a force out there that isn't like a gun that's been created to stop him.
Yeah.
But actually, like, Cisco technically should be able to stop him too if he worked on his powers.
Yeah, which is ironic because...
That's how I have to turn and look at Tari as I'm saying stuff like, is that true?
Right, yes. Which is ironic because Cisco also built that gun that was made to stop the Flash. He built the cold gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might come full circle seasons later, guys, but that third place we went tonight, season 6, we're going to be like, yo, I told you guys that we were coming back to this place.
Go ahead.
No, everybody write this down.
Yeah.
Everyone write it down. Tiana said it on this day.
I would just love it if, like, we're not even thinking about it, and then there's, like, a random scene taking place. Like, maybe even in one of the other shows, it's on this volcano, and then in the background, in the far background, you just see, like, 2 people fall out of a breach, and you're like, what's happening?
It's going to be on Supergirl next week. Don't worry. It'll be the musical crossover episode.
Sweet.
That is amazing. Dealing with time travel can be confusing, and there are certain liberties that we as viewers allow the writers to make, just because it is such a massive concept. And so that is why I really appreciated the references to time travel tonight that were just like concise and made sense. Like, if we allow Gypsy to take HR, this will F with our timeline, and then possibly we can save Iris, because then he won't be there. And that's a massive change.
Yes.
Those things make sense.
Right.
And I think it's really good when they are able to like zone it down into that.
Yeah, I really liked that idea of Barry considering a life for a life. Like, if he gives up the life of this guy he doesn't really care about, could it save the person he really does? But that's unhero-like, so he wouldn't. So it makes it real difficult.
Yeah, and it also makes it harder because you also don't know if it's going to change it in that way.
Right.
Like, there's no guarantee. But I just think like when they are able to pinpoint it down like that, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel like they. I don't want to say it makes you. I was gonna say it makes you feel like they know what they're doing. Like, obviously they know what they're doing.
Right.
They have 23 episodes mapped out, but it makes you like trust them a little bit more. Like, yeah, like I'm on for the ride with you.
Yeah, you can see the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, exactly. I just thought it was like such a fun way to have like a big bad for the episode without making it evil and trying to take over the world.
Yeah.
Like Pinky in the Brain. Sorry, I don't know why when you said
just
that.
like that.
Just like
Hey, just like Pinky in the Brain are always trying to take over the world.
I'm
Girl.
sorry, stop
Oh
it.
my God.
Stop
Girl.
it. You're making me
That's a
blush over
reference.
here.
It's a reference to the 90s.
Oh my gosh.
Dang,
I'm
girl.
amazing.
In the words of Julian, maybe she had a bad off day.
But speaking of this whole timeline thing and changing the future,
Yes.
they still haven't told Joe. How are you guys feeling about that part? Because Iris is acting like she's invincible, basically. She's
Yes.
like, look, put a gun to my chest because I know I'm dying on May 23rd, 2017, not on January 31st, 2017. So go ahead and try.
Again, I love that she did that.
You do?
I did.
Yes.
Like seeing her emboldened like that and it not being reckless because we know why she's doing it. I was like, yes.
But what if the future were to change right then and she did get shot? Because now she's acting all brand new and shit. And so now she's going to go out there and get herself killed at a different time.
Well, she has a backup plan called Kid Flash. I'm completely serious.
Yeah.
I wish my little brother cared about me that much.
Yeah. But to answer your question about, like, do I care about Joe not knowing? I want them to tell him. I think they should tell him. But I kind of get it, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I'm letting them off the hook because it would possibly cripple him. Mm-hmm. And they need him working at full cylinders.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tauri?
I'd agree. He is kind of an overreactor when it comes to his kids, and I think he'd be more of a hindrance than a help in that regard. Also, I think that for their sakes, it would be better if, well, it's a double-edged sword, because either it's something that they can laugh about on May 24th, be like, remember that time you were supposed to die? Joe, she was supposed to die yesterday. Or if she actually does die, then him knowing that they knew the whole time and didn't let him like spend his time with his daughter in a meaningful way would crush him. So like yeah, there are pros and cons, but I'm okay with it for now.
Okay, because see, I'm thinking like on the second part of your argument there, I want him to be able to say his goodbyes because they are all going to be able to spend the next 5 months. Is that how long it is till May? 4 months? 4 months till May. Spending time with Iris, knowing every moment with her, make it a memorable moment. And Joe is just, I'm mad because you're doing this, and so if he spends his whole time being mad at her actions, not knowing why she's doing what she's doing, at the end of it all, he's gonna be like, well, I spent the last 4 months being yelling at my daughter for most of the time, and she was just trying to live her life to the fullest.
I also think his argument could be, I could have helped.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant person.
It's true.
I don't know like what he could do, but like the writers can tell us.
Yes.
You know, like I would be
their job to
livid.
figure out.
Yeah, I would be livid if I was like, you took away one of the most important things in my life, and you didn't give me an opportunity to fight for her.
And since we're sorry, what do you want to talk about?
I just wanted to elaborate, or not elaborate, but like, I also, sorry, my use of elaborate really ruined my brain. That's
We're taking away your word of the day calendar now. Sorry.
But it also, it's like, for him, it would be kind of the same way that his ex-wife / her mom went out, in that she's getting reckless because she knows she's dying in the same way that her mom was dying and lived a pretty reckless life. And she brought it up in a different way, that like she fears being her mom, and she's doing that. She's becoming her mom, and that's what broke Joe and her mom up. I don't remember her name, and I don't want to keep saying her mom, but like that's what broke up their marriage, is that she was so reckless that he couldn't handle it anymore. And so it would suck if Iris kind of went down the same path.
I agree.
Yeah.
That is true.
And since we're on the topic of Joe and Iris, I want to throw in Barry, because Ivan Soto in the chat has been saying people are still having a problem with this whole Barry and Iris being together and them still referring to them as brother and sister, thinking that sounds weird. So how do you guys feel like on their relationship portion of they're kind of brother and sister, but now they're dating? There's no blood relation,
Right.
so technically,
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
fine, right?
They were raised as like best friends, and they've done a really good job in the last couple seasons of kind of making that divide very clear. So I'm okay with it.
But do you think they should stop referencing them? Joe is like Barry's dad to
No.
make it easy.
I think that they have. I could be wrong. I thought they have dropped brother sister references. I think that it's.
I think Joe still refers to Barry like you're my son too. So that's
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he is a father figure to him,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
I'm into it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm into it. I like them together. I don't see a problem with it. I think that if they had started off as infants together, yeah, that would be really weird. But I think by the time they got into the situation of living together, they had already established the friendship. They were old enough to know that, they come from different places and everything. So I don't see a
agree.
problem with it.
We had two really lovely, vulnerable, and intimate scenes with the two of them as well this episode, and that was nice to see.
It was.
They
I
s-
love.
They seem like they're in a really good place too. Is that weird to say?
Which is scary, because when people are in really good places on TV shows, especially like The Flash, that's when shit starts going bad.
Well, she might die.
I mean, that part, but but I feel like there's something like coming sooner than that. Like they can't be happy for the next 4 months.
I agree.
Something has to
completely.
happen in their happiness even before we get there.
Yeah,
Maybe.
totally.
And-
Totally. What do you think?
What were you gonna say? No, I was gonna change the topic.
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
I was gonna say, speaking of touching moments, I really enjoyed the moment between HR and Cisco.
Yeah.
Yes.
I loved the idea of Cisco now growing beyond the point where growing to the point where he can kind of be that like savior character for someone, and it happens to be a guy with the face of his own mentor. It was really well done, and I love that. And I felt like that moment was so genuine, because we did get a really good sense of Cisco and the original Wells relationship before Wells revealed himself as being evil. And so now he gets to kind of have that again, but from the other side. And I thought it was really touching.
I agree. Also, I just love what he said. Like, we are here for each other, and we have to show up. And yeah, it was touching.
Yeah. Oh, and he gets a surrogate brother, which is nice. Because he lost his brother, and now he has HR to be kind of his brother figure.
Yeah, bringing in nice Cisco. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Cisco. I missed you, bud.
Yeah, I also was honestly.
Woo!
Hey,
Opa.
guess who's back? But Cisco's back. But I'm bringing Cisco back. Okay.
You did a couple songs there. It was
No,
like
that's
a
one
mashup.
song. It's the Cisco song.
Oh yeah, that too.
Cisco is black. Wait, back.
Cisco's black?
Cisco-
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know
Okay,
that.
thank you.
Missed
Okay.
that part.
Speaking of,
Yes.
Cisco being black. Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
oh god,
Black vibes.
speaking of black people, Iris and Wally. Oh my god, great
Oh,
segue.
yeah.
I
Great.
love their bonding. I also love seeing them do this stuff tonight with stealing the file folder, taking pictures, and then also breaking into the place together. This is the kind of reckless thing that siblings do when they're younger, and they were not able to do that. So like they're making it for lost time,
Yeah.
and I like that. We haven't had a lot of Iris and Wally bonding at all.
Yeah.
I did like seeing them team up together tonight, even though I thought it was really stupid. But I do like seeing the brother-sister relationship because, we got a flash of it in episode 1 when they were, in Flashpoint and the fighting team together. But we haven't really seen a lot of it since. She's been really busy necking with Barry. So
Yeah.
it's nice to see them getting along and bonding and seeing that brothers and sisters can get along and have a happy relationship.
Yeah. I really liked it as well.
But
I felt bad for Wally because he was kind of being manipulated. Mm-hmm.
That's what big sisters do.
I guess so. That's the only downside about it, but it was really fun seeing them kind of play, and also getting a chance to see Iris have a genuine want. She's been kind of as Tiona said, necking with Barry for a while, and that's kind of been her storyline. And now they're showing us in full speed that she's a reporter. She can follow leads. She can really work to take down these bad guys. And her genuine want of wanting to leave a mark before she dies was really interesting.
But just to play a little devil's advocate here. Sorry, I'm gonna do it.
I don't believe in the devil.
Well, Iris, yes, she was a good reporter and had some leads, but the only reason she got to the bottom of the story is because she had her brother steal a police file to lead them there. So is she really doing all the work? Does she get all the praise there, or you know? If she didn't have a Kid Flash brother to steal that file from her dad, I feel like she'd still be looking for that.
I care less about that and more about the fact that Barry and Joe are we need to protect her. She's doing dangerous work. She's doing her job.
Yeah.
They would not send her out to this place if it was dangerous.
Right.
I think.
Well, she's not being sent out. She's going on her own.
And I trust her as a adult human being to make that decision for herself.
Yeah. Can I also, if I were Yale, I would make this point, so I'm going to make it.
Hi, Yale. Welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. This is probably going to get me a lot of flack.
Ooh, are you about to be anti-feminist?
No, I'm going to be super feminist, probably, maybe.
What is your point?
There's that moment when Barry is talking to Iris about her wanting to be a great reporter and her wanting to leave her mark. And then Barry basically turns to her and goes, hey, your mom did something great. She made a smart guy in Wally and my girlfriend. Not a really genius reporter or a really savvy girl. My girlfriend. And I feel like that was demeaning to her character. I mean, it was sweet and romantic in that moment, but I also felt like it was not the greatest thing.
I agree.
And yet, not that it is up to a woman to decide. And Iris has not indicated that, but women as feminists and as being in control of themselves are allowed to choose motherhood as Iris's mom did.
Right.
I think the point is, I guess the point you're making is that Iris has not chosen that.
Right.
I also, and now that you bring it up, that's a hilarious point because Iris does not have kids and will not be able to have them before May.
Well, because I thought that's what he was, when Barry was talking to her, he's like, your mom did so many great things and you will too. I was like, well, she doesn't have 9 months to give you a child. What are you talking about?
Delay the timeline.
It's are you going to go push her through a time force or something to make the pregnancy go faster? I don't know. Give her a pill?
Her through a time force.
I don't know. I feel
Is that how that works?
Yeah, that's how pregnancy works.
Totally, yeah.
But no, I mean, now that Tauri has pointed that out, I'm a little mad at myself for not getting there myself. And I feel like Yale would be disappointed in me, but
I'd like to.
I was too busy fangirling over oh, he's so sweet to her. But then no, Barry, dude, you can't say her brother's super smart and then be oh, and then I have a girlfriend. Well, what the hell, man? It's
maybe they did this to make us have this conversation.
Maybe at least
maybe.
Okay, before we go to predictions,
yes.
Tell me, we saw Cecile for the first time in a while.
Aww.
What do we think about her?
I think their relationship is progressing very slowly, but it's still there.
I
There's
also
still sparks.
I agree with everything you said. I also don't know if it progressed any faster, would we be able to handle that storyline in an already complicated number of storylines?
Yeah, I feel like that's why it's progressing so slowly. It's like, okay, like, Joe, happy for you, bruh. Love you. Get some. But there's way more important stuff happening over here, and we don't really have time for you and your love life.
Well, I don't think it needs to be a front and center storyline, but like, I think that they're totally like, you know, canoodling all the time. They probably like they probably just left the janitor's closet, and they were like making out, and then they're like, I should probably go do some work. I think it's happening. It's just in the background.
I'm seeing some people in the chat saying that she is Savitar.
Really?
Maybe that's why we keep bringing her
Really,
around.
That's a nice segue into predictions. I'm not predicting that, though, I promise. Does anybody have anything concrete to say?
No.
Okay, in the preview, we saw some stuff, nothing terribly illuminating, if I'm being honest.
We see death by hand.
What?
Like, the guy, it's like everything he touches turns...
Oh.
Oh, I
Death.
thought you were
And then-
saying, like, Mrs. Scarlet with like, the
Oh,
wrench.
no, and then he touches Iris, and then it's like, oh, no, I'm dying. But we all know she doesn't die, apparently.
Yeah.
The girl's not afraid to die until May.
Don't you imagine her in her last breath being like, but it's not May.
This isn't how I'm supposed to die.
Yeah.
And then Joe's like, what? Where's that girl? What'd she say?
I guess that my prediction will be that in the next 2 episodes, they will have to tell Joe what's happening with Iris.
2 episodes, okay.
In the next 2 weeks, they will tell him at some point in the next 2 episodes. He will find out.
You know, it's going to be hard for him to stay mad at them for keeping a secret because he's not the type of guy, in my opinion, that would choose to be mad at somebody and like distance himself from them, especially if he knows he only has 4 months left with them.
Right.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Tauri?
I think, well, in the preview, we also get that Barry is now teaching Wally everything he knows so that he can get up to speed to save Iris. And I think that the training is going to drive a rift between the two of them because Barry has a specific goal in mind and Wally is just in it for the fun, like we had mentioned. And I think that they're going, like, Wally isn't going to live up to Barry's standards. They're going to get in an argument, and it's going to cause a rift between them. So that's prediction. I'm going to guess that in the next 5 episodes, the gang somehow accidentally releases Savitar in an effort to stop him from becoming, in an effort to stop him from destroying Iris.
What does that mean, releases Savitar?
Because he said that he had trapped him.
Yeah, he's trapped in the Speed Force.
So Barry
You
can
are correct.
accidentally release him.
Oh, gosh darn.
I have some fun predictions from the chat. We're just going to kind of read them out. I see Wally as Savitar. I see Savitar as Tiona. I see Eddie from Chris Solaski. Eddie is Savitar. The actor confirmed he's coming back, and we never saw a body. Mystic Lightning says Joe might betray the group by protecting Iris. Angela Sashi says Wally gets stuck in the Speed Force from training and becomes Savitar.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Cool.
Emma Frost 45 says Yale has been gone ever since Savitar was locked up. Coincidence? I think you might be onto something. So yeah, that was some of the predictions.
These are such good predictions. Thank you.
You guys are way smarter than us.
If you want to predict with us live next week, we do this at 9:10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9:10-ish. I have one final prediction, and that is that Yale will be back next week. Guys, it's so much fun. You can find me on Twitter at JeffMasters1.
I hope Jeff is wrong. No, I don't. I want you back, Yale. I love you. I'm Tiona Hobson. You can find me all over the interwebs at the Tiona Hobson.
And I'm Tauri J. Miller. You can find me at Tauri J. It's TaurijAY.
Bye.
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 From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.